Hey Dylan, this is Keaton Everett with ABC, going over your pitching video from camp. We're going to go through and talk a little bit about your mechanics, kind of look at a few things and break it down and sort of look at your initial start. You know, what are your legs doing? You know, where are you breaking your hands? How you get consistent? We're going to go through and look at your foot strike. You know, what are your hips doing in relation to your upper body? You know, are you using your legs to drive the ball out over your front foot? And we'll look a little bit at your release, all right? So right off the bat, what we look at is we basically look at your setup. You know, so much of how you start dictates how you're going to finish, and so we look at sort of that initial thing. And what I want you to key on is look at what your hips are doing right here when you start. See that shift back and then going? All right, pitching is all about getting consistent. All right, you have a good initial setup here. All right, you got a good initial start. I like how you're getting everything closed off, getting that leg back, getting those hips closed to lead down the mound. All right, everything's good. And so now it's just a matter of making everything nice and efficient and repeatable. So trying to get rid of excess movements, trying to clean everything up, is we just got to try to get a little bit loaded in this position first, so we're not seeing those hips move right off the bat. All right, but you're staying over your back foot. Everything's good. All right, so now at the height of your leg kick, you know, we're going to want to see hips start to go forward first. You want to see your hands start to break somewhere over this rubber, this back foot, and your hips are leading all the way down the mound and not kicking this foot out. All right, so as we tick forward, you see your hips are starting to come through. All right, hands are breaking pretty well over that rubber. All right, so now where you get into problems here is the start's good. All right. You're getting into problems where you're locking this joint out, you're locking that leg, all right? You don't want to keep it bent a whole lot, but you don't want to get it locked so straight so early and just kind of let it sink down the mound, because what you're seeing here, and we'll key in on the lower body first, so I'll go back and talk about your upper body, is you're seeing the stride length looks to be cut off, all right? I think you could probably be getting about right out here by staying closed a little bit longer with your hips. You're just kind of limiting yourself with your stride length. All right, you're landing with your knee over your ankle, and it's just a matter of you're just kind of kinking that leg out and just kind of letting it rotate over like a door hinge or something, instead of keeping your hips closed longer. So at this point, you know, your foot might still be, you know, you think about that shin bone kind of staying more parallel to the ground. You know, here it might still just about be getting out front. So everything's just a little bit early with that leg, and you're landing here. All right, try to get those hips closed. You know, don't think about reaching out with your left foot. Think about keeping your hips closed longer, farther down the mound. All right, and that'll just kind of keep that lower half together. All right, now upper body wise, all right, key in on this glove here. You see how it's completely turned past your body and your palms facing the sky. All right, this isn't a good position. You can see it turning out here. Basically what that does is that causes this left side to pop open early, and then you're going to release the ball against your front foot. All right, so you're throwing your ball against the front foot, and you're collapsing your back leg. All right, this isn't a very powerful position. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. I want to talk a little bit more about this glove and this front side. All right, this front side helps out a lot. It helps us get down the mound. It helps us stay closed. It helps us finish through our release point, but it can also hinder us when we start flipping it up. All right, we don't ever want to turn our wrist, have this glove facing the sky. Just think about keeping your palm kind of down, neutral. You don't want any pronation or supination of your glove, because it'll cause that front side to pop open. So at your foot strike, we still want to see that elbow out front a little bit and that glove below your elbow. All right, so now you're looking to be at about this angle here. Now that glove gets locked out front over that front foot, and you bring everything towards that glove. All right, you don't pull it back into your chest, and that will just give you more power and that torque. All right, that torque is that hip-shoulder separation, so the ability for your hips to start to turn before your shoulders, and you can see everything happens at the same time. All right, they happen at the same time because you're cutting yourself off with your landing foot, and you're popping that front shoulder open. Alright, so work on just staying closed down the mound longer, keeping that front side closed a little bit longer too. Alright, and so then through release, what you're going to see is instead of everything kind of crumpling down, and you're releasing the ball right here with that back foot crumpled, and now you're pushing the ball with that elbow, which can cause some injuries here a little bit later as you get older. As you're going to see, here's your release point. You're releasing the ball right here, your head's here. Alright, you're going to go from this setup where you're almost sort of straight up, and you're going to see yourself drive more through that back leg and create more of a triangle over your front foot. So it's going to be more of a right angle. Now your head's out over your front foot. Now you're releasing that ball maybe somewhere out here, getting more angle on it. And so that's just something to sort of feel your back leg driving all the way through that back leg. So at release point, it's basically completely straight, completely extended. Alright, if you're doing like a squat or a leg press, you don't count a half rep. You want to finish that rep and extend all the way out through it to get the most power on your legs. Alright, same thing with pitches. We want to try to get the most power on everything. So then as we finish, our weights goes from here. Now everything's out over that front foot. Momentum's taking us forward. And we're finishing. And it's just all about maximizing our lower half, maximizing our body to get the most out of our arm, to keep ourselves healthier, to take less strain out of our arm, and just to kind of generate that power in the hips we're used. So again, everything's good. Your initial setup is really good. All right, you got good balance, good everything. Now it's a matter of staying closed longer, getting farther down the mound, and letting that left glove get out front over that front foot and try to keep it locked out there a little bit more instead of pulling it off early. And that's going to get you throwing more strikes, get you a little bit more velocity, and most importantly, keep you nice and healthy to pitch a long time. So anyways, hopefully you have a great season this year. Good luck. Thanks for making it out to camp, and we look forward to seeing you again with ABC.